they're saying they're trying to change the voting age to 16. Wow. How would that affect future elections? And how has social media affected elections now? We're going to spend a little bit of time touching on both subjects today, but let's just go ahead and get started with the clips.
The UK just made a bold move. In Scotland and Wales, teens as young as 16 can now vote in local and national elections. And guess what? They actually show up. In some areas, their turnout was higher than older adults. So why not here? Let's break it down. At 16, you can drive a car, pay taxes, and even be tried as an adult in court. But vote? Nah, Uncle Sam says you're still a baby. Make it make sense. Critics say teens aren't mature enough, that they'll just vote how their parents or TikTok tell them. But you see how some adults vote? Meanwhile, Gen Z is more politically engaged than ever. Climate change, gun violence, student debt, this stuff directly affects them. Shouldn't they have a say in who's making the rules? Now here's the flip side. Some argue lowering the age could be used to sway elections or push agendas in schools. Others say teens should focus on growing up first. But here's the thing. Democracy isn't just for the old. It's for everyone who lives with the consequences. So the real question isn't if 16-year-olds are ready to vote, it's whether America is ready to let them. Like, comment, and follow for more bold questions.
Well, this is a great clip to kind of get the video started. Well, you got 16-year-olds that are they mature enough to understand politics and the way it affects them? All right. Do they have enough life experience to somewhat go to vote and make it make sense to them? Do they know what they're actually getting into? And that's the huge argument. The other side of this argument is that, look, they're working, they're paying taxes, they're driving, they're doing all these other things. They can get tried in court as an adult, but they can't vote. All right. So I really think that is at the age of 16, you're starting to get in a realm where you're starting to really develop, your sense of politics. All right. Which side are you going to be left? Or are you going to be right? You start to kind of get a general consensus of what you truly believe in. Or you're just so immature that anything or social media can easily influence you by meme. A meme can influence the way you vote. So there is some ups and some downsides. All right. Before we get into the rest of the video, please let me know. Okay. Yes or no in the comments. Do you think that 16-year-olds should be able to vote? Yes or no? And possibly tell me why. Let's keep watching.
I think we should reduce voting age to 16. I'll tell you why. So Gen Z, they're age about 13 through 27. They've only known the climate crisis. They missed substantial parts of their education because of the pandemic. If they're in high school or college, especially in college, it is very likely that whatever they've chosen as their major for study may not result in an affordable wage. They've coined the term climate anxiety to describe fear of not only being able to buy a home, but that fear will be wiped out by extreme weather, but fear of having children.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
16 and
Oh, geez, that's a little bit of going back and forth. Oh, whoever put those two clips together, it wasn't me, was not me, okay? Really showcased it. But look, pushing climate control and all these things on Gen Z at the time where they're probably not even caring. They're probably more concerned about graduating high school and then graduating college. Now, a big concern in Gen Z is maybe student loan debt, all right? Can they actually afford to buy a house? Are the wages that they're getting at their age good enough to actually live on their own? And right now, probably not, especially not in today's economy. So are you going to put the stress of voting for the right person and give that to them as a young adult? Meanwhile, while they're stressing in real life situations, school, living situations, probably girlfriend, boyfriend drama. And then not only that, again, you got to lean on the fact, do they have a lot of life experience to make a good voting decision? Because, hey, that one vote matters, right? All the votes matter, but that one vote still matters. Let's keep watching.
17-year-olds in Colorado are pre-registering as Republicans at a rate of 144% higher than Democrats in 2025, with Republican registration numbers more than doubling Democrat ones every single month in 2025 so far in one of the most heavily Democrat-controlled states in the country. Why do you think so many young voters are running away from the Democratic Party and joining the Republican Party?
Why do you think there's a trend lately of younger people voting more conservative and older people voting more liberal?
I think the younger people are probably annoyed with the previous liberal government. They're probably thinking, okay, we want to swing back in the opposite direction, which is basically what our future is in terms of housing affordability, job market, just basically everything like that.
Because I think the meaning of liberal has changed and old people don't realize that yet. I mean, if you actually look statistically, inflation has gone up, opportunities have gone down. Like as a person of color, I do feel DI has been taken out of bounds. Diversity and hiring, I don't believe in that. I think a lot of these policies are not sitting well with the younger generation. I think it's also because younger people hate old people in terms of like boomers and financial thing.
Yeah.
Life was easier back then, that's a fact, but they don't want to believe it.
I'm pretty sure it's because they more so appeal to the older generation. They don't care about us as the younger generation, Gen Zs, millennials.
I feel like they're not as affected to buy it on a day-to-day basis as they are younger people.
I think it's an information game. Political parties recently have done a good job of playing around with what media and what echo chambers people are in. I think it's understandable based on how different parties are controlling media. Older people, because there's more social support systems if you vote liberal. Younger people, they see a potential to make more money if they vote conservative.
I think Pierre is really targeting the younger people, especially with that tax rebate he's been proposing. And I think maybe the Liberal Party is just giving the older people more of what they want, so it just benefits them more.
Woo! I really think, to be honest, man, if you had to reround, some of you guys, if you had to go back and think when you were 18, were you comfortable spending money, or in your mind did you say, I need to save because I don't know what's going on, I don't know where I'm going to get, get the next full gas of tank or whatever it may be. I think that Gen Z right now is really stressing over the economy, inflation, and things like that. They are really stressing about money. That's really it. There's a lot of uncertainties, a lot of question marks on how they will afford a lot of things. So I think that they're voting more conservative so they can kind of get they want a better grip on finances. They want a government that's going to help them stabilize things instead of the constant moving goalposts, right? So they're a little bit worried, and I think they will value some grounded authorities and offices and administrations as well. But that's what I see as I'm talking to younger people, as I'm looking through the clips. The majority is they're just worried about money. They're worried about they're paying rent. They're worrying about not having to work 3-4 jobs and sharing a house with a roommate just because. So they are trying to lock down some of these these conservative ideas. That's what's going on.
My 15-year-old son asked me yesterday, what are we going to do if Trump wins because of Project 2025? 15 years old. He's not old enough to vote, but he's read Project 2025 and he's concerned. So my question is, as an adult who is able to vote, if you are planning to vote Republican, whether you made that decision before the Republican National Convention, whatever, and you have not read Project 2025, what in the world are you making your decisions on?
I wanted to add this clip because she brought up the fact that her 15-year-old, a young adult, and we just talked about young adults kind of getting a little bit more involved into politics and their concern levels, right? So she said that her son read it and he had some question marks. So as you can see, it's not just, 16-year-old, 18-year-olds, or 18 to 25-year-olds. This is kind of reaching deep down, 15-year-olds and 14-year-olds right now. And they're asking questions now. And I think with, to be honest, the exposure to everything, the use of political campaigns on TikTok and Instagram, they get exposed to all these messages and ideologies, and they get concerned. They have question marks now. So it's just the exposure of social media, really. So
instruction to elementary school children. Mr. Mamdani, you have said that you want to phase out the gifted and talented program. That means Mr. Cuomo and Mr. Slavel want to expand it. Mr. Slavel, we will start with you. What is your plan for the program? Right on 1 minute.
Gifted and talented.
Yes, gifted and talented.
I have 2 younger sons with Melinda Katz and Queens DA. They both attempted to get into gifted
What do
and
you think
talented.
so far? Who would you vote for?
They failed.
now, asking a 13-year-old who she would vote for, I don't think there's a large number of 13-year-olds that can really understand what's going on in the political realm, man. That's me. I feel like that might be a little bit too advanced for 13-year-olds. What do you guys think? Are 13-year-olds even capable of doing it? Leave your...
Now that I'm 18 and our generation is living through a political realignment unlike anything America has seen in the last 60 years, I gotta level with you. The numbers are pretty bad.
What you saying? What you gonna say?
Young people are swinging hard to the right.
Tell us why.
Like 30 points to the right. Young men are the most conservative they've been in the last 50 years. 56% of young people say that political violence is now acceptable. And a new Yale poll just came out that said that Republicans would actually win 18 to 21-year-olds by 12 points.
Did he just say political violence is acceptable?
Day. That is the same generation that was once called the most progressive since baby boomers. That same generation is now on track to become the most conservative generation in recent memory. And so many young people have lost faith in democracy and public institutions and science and maybe even in the idea of America itself. And I know a lot of people like that, and I don't blame them. How can you be optimistic about a system that doesn't serve you? And wherever the young people in your life have swung on the pendulum, whether it's socialism or fascism, it's not necessarily an affirmation of extreme ideology, but rather a confirmation that there is no rational alternative that's been offered. And that people are so angry about a system, they are left with no choice but to pursue more extreme ideologies. And the right knows this. They've been playing the long game. They have spent $1.6 billion on youth organizing in just the last 5 years. Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA and other groups are creating environments where politics feel like belonging, like purpose, like fun, where conservatism is somehow cool now, but there's an endless stream of podcasts and TikToks and campus events who are selling a brand of politics that is confident, entertaining, and, of course, also blatantly wrong. You know, another example, Charlie Kirk, he goes on this annual rotation of flashy conferences and galvanizing college tours where he debates uninformed college kids. Those tours have only increased in size with time. At every event, he is drawing thousands of students, cheering him on, even at some of the most liberal campuses in the nation. And so, while we on the left have been stuck in this perpetual cycle of leftist infighting, tearing each other apart, the right has been winning. And the truth is, if we don't change course, we will not just lose elections, we will lose an entire generation.
Wow. I mean, love that message there, man. Rightfully so. You know, like we said, this video is based on young adults and how there are, you know, in numbers rising in the conservative count. So that's a lot. They're looking for stability. And I think the way it is getting promoted to them, that being on the right side is the right side of doing that, of getting stability, of, gaining more confidence in the way the economy will be ran once they start voting and once they're in their 30s and trying to raise families, the traditional stuff. They're getting influenced by that, right? The campaigns that he's talking about, right? The tours, the exposure again on social media, it's a lot, and they are really tapping into the younger generation, probably more than we see it every single day. So what do you guys think about that? Leave your thoughts in the comments. So this next clip is really about UK's bold decision to let the voting age actually start at 16. This is the UK, so let's just take a look how they're doing over there.
Unveiled. Voting age lowered to 16 ignites UK's bold democratic revolution in 2025. Alex June July 17, 2025. Caption. Celebrate the voting age lowered to 16 in UK 2025. Young voters shine at polls with Roshanara Ali and Nigel Farage in focus, 12:11 p.m. BST, the 17th of July. The United Kingdom is on the brink of a transformative electoral shift as the government announces voting age lowered to 16 for all elections, effective by the next general election. Confirmed today at 12:07 p.m. BST on Thursday, the 17th of July, 2025, this landmark decision fulfills a key Labour Party manifesto pledge from July 2024, adding over 1.5 million young voters to the electorate. This news article explores the details of this historic change, the reactions it has sparked, and its implications for democracy, ensuring you stay informed about one of the UK's most significant political stories of the year.
Okay, tell us about
Voting
it.
age lowered to 16, a bold step toward youth empowerment. The decision to lower the voting age to 16 marks a pivotal moment in UK electoral history, aligning England with Scotland and Wales, where 16 and 17-year-olds have voted in devolved elections since 2014 and 2019, respectively. Democracy Minister Roshanara Ali described it as a generational step forward, emphasizing its potential to boost youth engagement and rebuild trust in democratic processes. With the change set to take effect before the next general election, expected by 2029, this reform aims to invigorate a younger electorate often underrepresented in politics. Expanding the electorate. This overhaul.
Well, guys, it looks like, again, it just goes on to how they got to this process, using the different neighboring countries as an example and just expanding the population or the electorate vote, getting more people involved, the young people. All right. Is it because we're expecting a big die off of the older generation, or voting is more, they're so worried about winning that they think they can sway the numbers and sway the minds of the younger people because, hey, we got more voters, they're easily influenced, let's go ahead and introduce them. You get what I'm saying here. So I'm curious to see how this plays out, and I'm pretty sure that the U.S. government is going to sit back and just play spectator to this as well, just to see how that turns out. Someone has to do it first, and it looks like UK is doing it. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We're going to go ahead and end today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, hype the video, and sub. I'll see you on the next one.